it just in time. It's just a minute before 9:30. 9:30, and I made it in time. So, Ikero. Beautiful risings. Beautiful risings. Yesterday, I began the Tewere, or my 16 days of the Olodu, which consists which consists of just venerating and highlighting these 16 Odu. And here I share it with those who joined me yesterday. Just a little worksheet of how we're going to memorize these Odus in a practice. So if you want to um, follow up or take a look at that, I will be including that somewhere on this video, somewhere on this video. But thank you. Thank you. We made it here. Aboye, Aboshishe. Peace and its blessings. It is I, Ifa Kolade, Umilade, Fatosin. I am the mother, the medicine woman, the storyteller, artist, and host of Sacred Waters Healing Temple. This is the home of divine mysticism, ancestral medicine, assisting us into a cosmic rebirth of the ascension of our true selves. And on this wonderful, beautiful day, I will be discussing with you the Odu Eji Ogbe. Eji Ogbe. Yes, we will be discovering and discussing the Odu of Eji Ogbe. But before we speak about any of the verses, we must remember where the voice comes from. Today, I am starting with divination. However, it's a divination of history. So I'm starting with history because IFÀ is not just this floating system. It didn't just come out of nowhere. This is an oral tradition, and it is rooted in land, people, migrations, memory, survival, loss, and preservation. So why does this matter? History matters. You must know the source and where things come from. We must understand it, especially in IFÀ, IFÀ Isese, IFÀ Sheshe Lekba. While we're exploring this system, we understand that it is the ways of our ancestors. The Yoruba tradition does not exist in isolation. I would say it's a close practice, but it does not exist in isolation. It did not appear suddenly, nor was it created to replace any other systems. According to historical, archaeological, and philosophical records, the Yoruba people are part of an ancient migratory continuum story of people who have crossed Africa. So moving through the regions near the Nile, the Sudan, the Niger basin, long before modern borders existed, this tradition came about. And as I always reference, this is from the Handbook of Yoruba Concepts. This book is very important because we're not jumping into Isese or Ifa just for colors, rituals, and Orisha play. We must understand the philosophy that this is a philosophical system. This is not just out of anywhere. It actually consists and embodies moral framework as a record of human behavior and then a study of visible and invisible realities. So the known and the unknown. And so without history, Ifa becomes superstition, and it is not superstition. Without context, the verses become misused, and we don't want to misuse anything. We simply want to dive into it and understand its mysticism and the sacredism of it. So Orunmila is the one that pretty much brings the messages down to the divine of the Ialawo and the Babalawo. Orunmila is remembered as a prophet and witness of identity and destiny, not a savior. He's not a middleman. He's not a tyrant, not a figure just demanding blind obedience of any sort. His He represents knowledge of simply being. And so it is important to understand that the IFA corpus exists because humans observe a life reflecting on the cause and consequences of humans' record of wisdom in, in verses and symbolism. And so this is why IFA studies mostly manifesting things, the visible, the unseen, the unknown, the human behavior, and the imitation of life. Ifa does not teach about fear or or um, or fear, scare things. Hollywood. Let's just say that it teaches about alignment. Okay. One of the most misunderstood aspects of Ifa is transmission. And so through the 16 Odu, they're often spoken of as male disciples of Orunmila. Knowledge itself is conceived through a female principle. It is why it is important that whenever you're finding a competent Babalao or Ialao, you want to see them paired together. It is not just a male thing. Knowledge itself is conceived through female principle, that divine energy, that matrix, that motherboard. And so it comes together. The ideas, insights, and empathy and wisdom are carried before they are even spoken. It's carried within the womb, that dark space, again, that matrix. And so this is why memory, preservation, interpretation, teaching are not any coincidences, not accidental roles that just happen. These are sacred responsibilities that I honor, that we must honor, of the divine feminine, not only just in gender, but in function, the ability to hold, to transmit the wisdom intact. So I just want to be clear with the intention here. This does not this does not exist without those who came before us. And in this space, I often speak about those who were pioneers throughout the journey to come into the diaspora over the last 50 or 60 years. And so I'm always acknowledging our elders, our scholars, those who have assisted in translating the Odu for us in this time. So I'm always referencing the handbook of Yoruba religious concepts, as well as Agban and Oloye Keride, as well as my Baba as well, Baba Omitoki, who is a great instrument in my transformation and becoming who I am today. So I'm always going to reference and revere the Keride Nation in my videos. You are going to see that. I'm in no way trying to replace the oral tradition. I am simply bridging. I am the bridge of what exists today for me and my teachings. I am the bridge in bringing things together. This, and for this, I'm helping to restore continuity and to do so without disruption, to continue to restore things without any disruption in any way. So whenever I'm speaking, I am speaking their names because over here we will not forget them. There will be no form of loss of any such. So yes, I'm always speaking to that because this is an oral tradition. This is an oral tradition. I also want to acknowledge before I dive into my verses that um, the 16 days event that I'm currently holding today and where it is coming from is out of Tawede. So Tawede is let's see. Let's see if I have my book. Tawede is basically a time of fasting. It's a time of fasting, a time of listening, a time of simply just being in the moment, in the now, in the present, while also acknowledging these 16 days, the 16 Odus, um, the 16 major Odus of um, Olodu Ese IFÀ. And so, after history, after lineage, after honoring those who have preserved the knowledge, I would like to just speak about Tawede. Tawede is not a shortcut. If you are new to the tradition of Ifa Isese, Tawede is new itself. Like I said, if you're from Christian practices or any other practice outside, any religious rather, you may be familiar with like Lent, or if you're of the Islam path, you may be familiar with Ramadan. So Tawhid is what are we have established, what we have founded a as our sacred time of simply meditating and being in the essence of the Ifa Ishe versus in the corpus and just meditating in that stance. And it is a continuation. So you can do it for the first 16 days of the month, or you can do it at the end of the month, like I'm doing right now. But in no way is Tawede a shortcut. It is not like a trend or anything like I'm not doing it to perform. I'm not doing it to act or reenact anything. You'll never see on any of my content me doing anything where I'm performing any rituals for you guys. I'm not here for that or for entertainment. Tawede is a discipline of purification, alignment, and character elevation through intentional engagement with Ifa. Traditionally, Tawede is understood as a process of uprooting the obstruction of clarity, spirituality, mentally and behaviorally, so that one can even hear Ifa without the distortion, without all the other things. So simply just using Tawede to associate with cleansing. You can associate it with cleansing, with stillness, with study, and with Iwe Kwele. So how did Tawede come? It is known that Aloye Aloye received Tawede in a dream. It was a dream that instructed him to to put himself into a time of meditation, to submit to meditation on the Odus of Ifa. It was guided to him. So specifically, like Eji Ogbe, Eji Ogbe being the head, the senior of all of the Odus. And the question that he received was, what must he do to further understand the way of Ifa? And so for him, he said that it was not any rituals that was needed. It was not, it had nothing to do with who he was, his position, his title, or anything, his authority. You don't have to be initiated. You don't have to ask for permission of anybody. It's not a state where you need authority. It's just simply knowing what is it that you must do to further understand Ifa. And so he said that his answer was to be rooted, to be cleansed and delivered from all distractions, from all the titles, the egos, the who's and what it is and what it ain't. It is delivered from misalignment. And with the instructions that he was given, both message and blessings, he took the responsibility, because Ifa does not separate understanding from responsibility. And so for the 16 days, he um, he said that it is important to understand each of the Odus as it's going, because it is a foundational principle from which the 256 Odu will unfold. And so he didn't want to rush through all of these things. He simply just wanted to understand what they were. So he began to do that and just really, um, take note of it and then share it with other people. Tell what they allow for him to explore each one of the Odus for each day and the principles that come with it, and to mirror and reflect those principles as well. So he wasn't trying to like master anything or to, um, I would say, he's not trying to become like a major guru. It's just simply taking the time to be still. You have to understand the importance of what it means to just simply be still. And so it was he wanted to be still and be in oneness with the Odus, like a relationship and communication with direct wisdom of the Odus for Eji Ogbe. And so um, it's not oftentimes that we are able to venerate. Well, it's not oftentimes that we're able to visit. That's the right word that I wanted to say. That we get to visit our elders, um, in for whatever circumstance that they may be. And so, when I read about Tawede, it just gave me a sense of like, if I'm not able to contact or reach my elders for whatever reason that is, just sitting with the messages of each of the Odu helps me to be grounded, be still with those that I would like to reflect on, and just hear what may come and be reminded of what it is that I can do to bring myself closer to these Odus. So, um, another groundwork that I wanted to talk about as it is integrated with Tawede is the fasting part where um, you want to fast to what is appropriate for you and your lifestyle and your health, of course. And then just simply studying the elders. Like this morning, I have tea and I am exploring Eji Ogbe with you guys and what comes with Eji Ogbe. And then I'll be doing some journaling on this day. It's a beautiful day outside. It's raining. It's a relaxed day. And then just applying it or reflecting on observing, you know, my body, observing the day, observing the sounds of nature as I can hear the birds outside and expressing insight through um, what it is that I'm receiving, whether it's if I want to rest, if I want to journal, if I want to write, or if I just want to sit in silence, maybe cook or hang out with my kids, whatever that may be. But there's no punishment that comes with it. It's simply devoted to who I am, what I am, and where I'm coming from, and being still with the odus that come with it. The ultimate goal for me in Taiwan to is to improve character. Irene Ajo. It is a journey toward improved character. So Ifa does not ask of us how much do we know. Ifa does not ask what it is that we have to give, or where do I live, or how do I live, or how I am able to perform. Ifa is going. If I ask me, how am I treating others? How am I treating myself? You know, how do I respond when no one is watching? And so, with that, how it refines how I carry the knowledge of what it is that I'm receiving throughout this time period. The journey is not meant to be isolated, but instead more of my own inner introspective work is being had. So wherever you are, you can be at work or whatnot when you're starting to Tawede, and that's completely fine. You're interacting and engaging with other people. It's completely fine. So wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, if you decide to take a on for 16 days of Tawede, do so. I encourage you. The journey is not meant to be isolated. It is shared amongst, journaling and writing or with other individuals. So if you're seeking grounding or or if you're experiencing maybe being frustrated or being overwhelmed by fragmented teachings within a tradition or outside in the world, experiences, this is something that you could definitely do. Or it's definitely something that I would encourage you to do before initiations. If you plan to do initiations, Tawere is something that you can um, bring into that period before, or before prayer, or before receiving Idafa. And so it's there if you want to enhance your character before receiving any downloads. So there is not like I'm trying to recruit you into anything. I don't have to convert you. It's not a convert system. It's a mindful system. Like I said, similar to Lent, similar to Ramadan, or even Kwanzaa, but this is a continuation. You don't have to wait to the end of the year to do Taweh. You can do it any time of the year that you want to. Hence, I started yesterday on the 16th. So each day, I will just be visiting the Odu, not to conquer it, but simply just sit with it. That's what Taweh is about. 16 days, one Odu per day, one Odu at a time. Okay, so that's the message that I wanted to share with you for honoring the ancestors. And so now I want to explore Eji Ogbe with you. Eji Ogbe, Eji Ogbe, or maybe others may hear it as um, Baba Ogbe, you know, or it is the Olodu Ese IFÀ, or Obi Meiji is another name for it as well. But yes, it's the Olodu Ese IFÀ, and it comes with blessings, leadership, good character, divine favor, and spouse, and businesses, and children. Is the big Odu. Each Odu of Ifa contains sacred verses, Ese IFÀ, that speak directly to teaching and wisdom of that Ifa. Everyone can learn and benefit from this Odu and the guidance that is contained within all 256 Odu Ifa. Through the process of divination, additional or more specific guidance may be revealed for individual's life situation that deepens the interpretation, which is traditionally offered by an experienced Ilawo or Babalawo, who serves as a bridge simply between humanity and the divine wisdom. And so, Eji Ogbe, again, is one of the big Odus. Eji Ogbe is the first Odu of the 16 major Odus and the head of the entire corpus, and it carries foundational energies that influence all of the Odus. This Odu comes with the blessings of many forms, positive, transformative experiences within life, success, stability, elevation, growth, expansion, leadership, influence. Eji Ogbe is um, often receives for individuals who are destined for positions of influence, leadership, whether in community roles, governance, teachings, or any space where one's voice carries a lot of weight in it. So the key of this Odu is to acknowledge or your awareness of your influence in the world, whether you're a student or an elder. It is important to acknowledge your influence in the world and those um, who came before you as well, to acknowledge how they have been impactful in your life and in your teachings. And that's why earlier I acknowledged my babas and my aloye as well, because like I said, this is not just something that comes out of thin air. I also want to acknowledge former teachers that I've had as well, that have assisted in any part of my position, and any elders or friends that I've had as well, any relatives that I've had that have come into Eji Ogbe is also a Odu that encourages those to um, pay homage to direct teachers like big mamas and big papas, like grandparents, aunties, people who have sown any seeds in your life that have taught you any lessons. So it's not just within IFÀ Isese, it's like going back to those that you witness in the kitchen, cooking during the holidays, those that you see bringing people together in your own family. They might not even be in the tradition of IFA, but it's important to understand their roles and reflect on those roles and to incorporate it into your own daily practices. So you also will be an individual that reflects leadership and humility with integrity and responsibility. Ifa reminds us that leadership must always be exercised within this Odu. Some of the core teachings of Eji Ogbe is Iwe Pwele. Iwe Pwele is good character. Good character is very, very heavily taught and sought through Ifa Isheshe. Your composure in all situations is important in showing gratitude for what one has already done. So in Isheshe, I have found that there have been a lot of people who like to discredit individuals for the things that they have done. This is not the place or the space or the tradition to do that. You must show homage to what has already been done and not be arrogant or egotistical. Okay. And it doesn't get anyone far. It doesn't get you anywhere. Trust and believe. You want to be blessed, and so you look to those who came before you and bring them in. Okay, the appreciation shows a gateway of gratitude and abundance. Ifa teaches that maintaining good behavior is not optional; it is essential. Temptation, arrogance, and negative conduct can undo years of progress if not checked. If not checked. Yes. So in this Odu, it is advised to be sure to check in with yourself. This Odu advises us to build good character into personality, not merely practicing or performing to one's occasion or whatever that benefits them. So doing projects that we know to help to be our hard work and strength in ourselves and those around us is highly emphasized within Eji Ogbe. Eji Ogbe teaches victory over enemies without malice or revenge. Ifa warns against harboring any malice, revengeful emotions as they block your blessings. So instead of trying to go out and perform on elbows to get back at somebody, it's better to understand forgiveness, because whatever a person who has wronged you did, whatever lesson it is that they must receive, they have to receive it. And if you are trying to get back at them, constantly trying to fight them or uh, what's the word that people like to say, match energies, then you're blocking them from receiving whatever lesson it is for them to receive. And so in Eji Ogbe, it's important to understand that you already have victory over your enemies. You already have victory over your enemies. So offering the proper abode, doing the necessary sacrifice, even if that is just sitting and being still, is highly encouraged in Eji Ogbe. Trusting the divine to bring about justice. Maintaining your moral alignment is highly encouraged in Eji Ogbe. Those who walk in integrity will be protected. Those who act unjustly, though, will be judged by Ifa. Yes, yes, will be judged by Ifa. So some of the responsibilities that I know and I have learned that comes with Eji Ogbe are to maintain composure, to uphold ethical conduct, to serve family, community, and IFÀ with integrity. So the Oluros and the Babalaos, those who hold, or those who are conduits between Olodumare, Rumila, Issue, and humanity, as well as to help people guide them to be progressive in life, to have balance, alignment, and also um, prosperity. So, as Young Bay offers relationships, good balance, and long life. So, stability in marriage is found in Eji Ogbe. Prosperity within the home is found within Eji Ogbe, and childbirth is found within Eji Ogbe. In this Olodu Ese, it is advised that couples maintain good communication, respect, and spiritual alignment within the household. Balance between family, spirituality, and personal growth contributes to one's own fulfilled life. Making a necessary sacrifice to be in harmony and communicate, to learn to communicate with your partner is a sacrifice. And so, when done correctly, it brings about success. And what success looks like for others may look different for another, but balance is the key foundation. In Eji Ogbe. Eji Ogbe teaches us about good character, behavioral preserves blessings, gratitude multiplies abundance, integrity protects destiny, and balance sustains long life. So continuing to make good choices, honoring sacrifice, taking trust to IFÀ, the path of alignment leads you to peace and success and fulfillments. And that is the message that I have for you today on Eji Ogbe. And so I hope that you were able to receive something from this video this morning. And until next time, Abora Aboye Aboshishe.